Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We can see that there's a little bit of green here in the chart in the last 24 hours, nothing too crazy, nothing too significant, but Bitcoin moved up a little bit in the last 24 hours. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. I had to change the chart a little bit now, the Elliott Wave count, just based on this little spike here. I already announced that in the last video that should Bitcoin get above 30.65k, and to be fair, it broke it, but really insignificantly. So however, rules are rules, and it could be that on some exchanges maybe it wasn't broken, but it was broken for now. And a lot of people have asked me that as well, and I already replied in the comments in the last few videos that yeah, should we get above 30.65k, I will just have to count this whole correction of the wave 4 in which we still are, where the last wave 5 is still coming here to the downside, that I just have to count this differently. So it's not a great change. It just means that the move down, the imminent move down, which looked like it had started here with an impulsive move down, probably hasn't started yet. And I've just sort of upgraded here this the wave count of the wave 4 to the most likely one. So it is not bullish, as I said in the previous video, but I warned that if we break above 30.6k or 30.65, I just have to count this correction a little bit differently, which gives us a better idea of when actually the impulsive wave down can start with a high likelihood. And again, it's not bullish. It just means that the correction is a little bit extended, which isn't too much of a surprise given how a wave 4 oftentimes takes a long time, but a few people have actually asked in the comments, couldn't this just be an extended WXY pattern? And that is exactly what I think is now unfolding here, where in the imminent short term, as long as the price for now stays above 29.9k, we are going to see here a wave C to the upside. And that could, as long as this doesn't go above, and I better move that down a little bit, and we get to the price target for the wave C in a minute, as long as the price stays here below the wave X peak, below 31.4k, I think, as long as that is the case, so below this wave X high. So that just means that we have a little bit of more upside here before we eventually move down. So it's still a clearly corrective structure. So it doesn't change anything in my view. It just means that unfortunately the overall correction seems to take a little bit longer. I better adjust that here a little bit to make it a bit more clearer. But you can see that we're currently retesting here the previous support and now resistance of this ascending wedge. And I mean, as long as we're below that, it could still go down here, and I would probably need to then this might have been the wave C here already, maybe, so need to look at that. But at the moment it has a chance to move all the way up to that wave X peak, to 31.4k in a larger wave C. Other than that, that might have already be the wave C, and I will update you here all along. And I think this is getting more likely as soon as we drop below 29.9k. And to be honest, we're already getting very close. So it's challenging here. That's also why usually I don't like to update those shorter time frame waves too often, because there's a lot of invalidation that is just happening. But at least this tells us what is now the preferred scenario. When the market is suddenly deciding to do something different, it is giving us a good indication of what the market is probably going to do next, in which wave we currently are. And again, this changes nothing, absolutely nothing in the medium term here, where I would still expect, because this is a corrective structure, this is a wave 4, and the corrective structure means that after that, when that is finally finished, we're going to get into a wave 5 in an impulse down, in a 5-wave move down, which should complete all of these waves here, and also that higher level degree wave 5 that you can see here, and the higher degree wave 2. Did I say 5? No, the higher wave 2 of the higher wave degree of this overall correction should then be finished finally as well. And that means that here this year was a wave 1. This was the first major wave. Then we came down in a wave A, moved up in a wave B, coming down in a wave C, and that will complete that wave 2. That is really the second wave. That is the higher level wave. That is the wave in which we are, and also based on which I have calculated this yellow target area here between 20 and 28.7k, which we already reached. Yeah, we now need to get to complete the sell-off. In my opinion, we need to get into that target area again and make a lower low. That is what I've been saying for the last few weeks, that I think there will be another move down. Yeah, I think it is just still a little bit too early to really move to new all-time highs from here. However, it is possible. And the reason I say it's possible, and I've been saying that probably the first time in the last 6 months, since we reached the target area, then I started talking about it, because we finally reached that target area. You know, I always said we need to make a lower low here compared to the wave A in June. We have done that, and that just means that from now on, at any point, the market can basically decide to move to new all-time highs. And if that happens, I will of course make you aware. For now, it seems to be still in a deeply entangled corrective structure. And yeah, I'm waiting here for another sell-off, but I've also warned you in the previous video that this correction here could take over the week. It could take, could last over the weekend, because the wave 4 is normally a bit boring, a bit long. So let's take a look at the indicators. After we've just realized that the correction unfortunately takes a bit longer. As always, a wave 4. We love wave 4s on this channel. This was a wave 4 here, by the way, as well. This boring move that lasted from end of January to end of March. Yeah. Or actually, you could say until the end of April, even though it actually started to unfold its impulsive move down end of April. So anyway, but this was also a WXY. I think the Y is missing up here. Let's just add that. This was also a WXY pattern. So okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a big difference now. Anyway, so overall here on the daily chart, let's look at the indicators. Here the downtrend is still unfolding. The ADX, when that white line is going up, it just indicates the trend is getting stronger. And because the red line is above the green line, it just means the downtrend is still unfolding here. On the RSI, yeah, the RSI is following pretty much the price action, so there is no divergence at the moment. There was a little bit of a bullish divergence down here, but that was not enough. And here we have currently a bullish crossover on the MACD. Now I wouldn't yet count too much into this. This could of course mean that prices will get a bit of upside momentum, but it's too early to talk about it. And the last one here was prevented, but we need to keep a close eye on that, a very close eye on that, absolutely. Here on the 4 hour, it's already losing momentum again, and it's looking a bit like that cross above the 0 line, even though it might happen, it might turn down again. But this is also here just turning sideways, so it will, we need to keep a close eye on this one as well over the next few hours. The weekly though is still pushing very much down, and I think the 4-day chart as well, which just means medium term in my view, that the correction isn't over yet. What will be interesting again is today when the US markets open, so still a few hours away of course, but when the US markets open, yeah, that will be interesting to see again, because yesterday we had a bit of a small rally when that happened, as already indicated in the morning, because of the loss of the previous day, that we could expect a recovery rally. Now that happened, unfortunately now peaked a little bit too high for that back then primary wave count, so I had to adjust a little bit that overall corrective structure of the latest wave. But again, it just means that we have to expect here a little bit of an extended correction, and it is not bullish. Yeah, just to make you aware, at least not yet bullish. If anything changes in the chart, I will of course make you aware. Okay, that is so currently here my overview about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.